This presentation will run through King Shaxson Asset Management's cash management portfolio service, a compelling offering given the interest rate moves over the last few years, and a service which builds on King Shaxson's rich heritage in the UK bond and money markets. King Shaxson were founded in 1866 as a discount house, playing an integral part in the UK money markets before the time of the nationwide banking system. While still playing an important role in the UK's money markets through both primary and secondary dealings, King & Shaxson have built on these traditional strengths to offer a range of financial services, including asset management since 2002. King & Shaxson are owned by Phillip Capital of Singapore, a family-owned financial services company now operating in most major economies, including the US, UK, Turkey, India, Singapore, Hong Kong and other regions of the Far East. The group has $63 billion in assets under administration, of which around $13 billion is held in London. In terms of assets under management, the group has around $4 billion. King & Shaxson service a range of clients from local authorities, universities, building societies and charities. Meanwhile, King & Shaxson Asset Management have a focus on supporting financial advisors and their clients. Through King & Shaxson Asset Management and building on the company's rich heritage, we're able to offer a compelling cash management portfolio service, more of which will be discussed in this presentation. Cash management, why now? As you can see from the graph to the left, interest rates have risen sharply since the start of 2022, as the Bank of England has sought to tame runaway inflation brought about by the vast quantity of money in the system from the COVID pandemic. Interest rates were slashed from the already historically low levels, and quantitative easing accelerated as the global economy ground to a halt. For many years since the global financial crisis, cash management has been overlooked given the lack of returns available on securities such as treasury bills. However, for the first time in decades, cash and risk-free assets have become attractive investments. However, as savers, many individuals and corporates are receiving interest well below the bank rate, or have restrictions on the amount they can invest, with lock-in periods or penalties for withdrawals on those investments that have an attractive headline interest rate. King & Shaxson's cash management service provides a compelling solution to some of these issues faced by investors, whilst enhancing the return for those seeking a low-risk solution to their cash management. Our cash management service has a number of benefits. Enhancing returns. The service seeks to enhance the return on cash holdings through investments into short-dated securities such as UK Treasury bills. These instruments are not readily available to retail investors. However, King & Shaxson's privileged position as a primary participant provides access to the primary Treasury bill market, where returns are more competitive versus the secondary. Highly secure. The type of assets employed in this service meet the needs of risk-averse investors. Investments into short-dated securities such as Treasury bills bring a highly rated asset class into the portfolio, with durations out to 6 months. Investors would be joining the likes of other institutional investors lending money to the UK government on a short-term basis. Longer-dated securities such as gilts or highly rated corporate debt can be deployed with an equally strong credit rating. On top of this, assets are held with Pershing Securities, an FCA-regulated custodian who ring-fence client assets according to CAS rules. More on this will come later in the slide deck. Highly flexible. The service is very flexible given the securities used are highly liquid and daily traded. There is no lock-up of funds like certain notice accounts or savings bonds. All instruments used are negotiable securities, so whilst this service is suitable for the ongoing management of cash, we can sell investments into the active secondary market should situations change or funds be required unexpectedly. Income generated from investments can be paid out at regular intervals or ad hoc, as well as being reinvested over time. Given the interest rate outlook, the investment managers can utilise longer-dated debt, such as gilts, to lock in a rate beyond the duration of Treasury bills. Certain clients may be seeking the tax benefit of holding gilts trading below par, which is an investment strategy we can deploy. Highly convenient. Whilst understanding the client's desired outcome is a vital aspect of the account opening stage, once funds are received, the portfolio is managed on a discretionary basis, releasing the client or advisor from the ongoing management of the cash portfolio. The returns profile reflects the need for low volatility, given the risk-averse profile when it comes to cash management. This is reflected in the graph to the left, detailing the returns profile for a portfolio investing into 3-month Treasury bills through the primary market. This investment strategy more closely aligns returns to that of the bank rate. When purchasing securities such as Treasury bills, the returns profile is predictable at the time of purchase. With our management and dealing fee a flat charge, the impact of fees on returns is also highly predictable. As previously mentioned, King & Shaxson's heritage is enshrined in the money markets, with the current management team providing cash, treasury and asset management services since the early 2000s. King & Shaxson's services have been deployed by a range of clients, from small banks and asset managers to local authorities and building societies, where King & Shaxson now have over $13 billion in assets under administration. King & Shaxson Limited is listed as a primary participant with the UK's Debt Management Office, joining a small handful of brokers and investment banks who have access to the primary market for weekly Treasury bill tenders. This gives our clients privileged access to the primary market for UK Treasury bills, where yields received are more competitive. Given the expertise and heritage, King & Shaxson Limited is a member of the London Money Market Association. King & Shaxson's Asset Management's bespoke service provides a compelling discretionary managed portfolio for those clients who would like to enhance returns on their cash holdings through highly secure securities. As we have previously mentioned, client assets are held with Pershing Securities, one of the world's largest custodians, with tens of trillions of assets under custody. Pershing Securities is authorised and regulated by the UK's Financial Conduct Authority, which means they adhere to the FCA rules on client money and assets, known as CAS rules. This requires companies such as Pershing, who hold client money and assets, to segregate and ring-fence them from their own assets. So in the unlikely case that Pershing run into financial difficulties, the assets can be identified and returned or transferred to another provider. King & Shaxson Asset Management are required to keep their choice of custodian under regular review, which we do with respect to Pershing, and remain confident with their ability to provide a good level of service for our clients. The minimum investment size for our cash management portfolio service is £1 million. Given costs such as custody charges are rolled up into our management charge, the service is very cost competitive. Our fees and charges are very simple. A flat management charge of 0.2% plus VAT, alongside a flat dealing fee of 0.05% is applied. The example below highlights the impact of costs on financial returns, noting this is for information purposes and is not a guarantee of future returns, as rates can be higher or lower at the time of investment. Nonetheless, it shows how cost competitive this service is, given there are no additional costs, such as ongoing third-party fund charges. If you'd like to know more information about King & Shaxson's cash management service, please contact us via email or phone using the details below or via the website contact page.